Hey y'all, welcome back to yet another episode of What's Cooking with Will Graves, the little show that I do for class. Now this week we're gonna do something a little bit simple. Now I'll be honest with y'all. We've done recipes ranging from potato soup, meatloaf, a million steps, 30 ingredients. We've done it all sorts of things, and we've run the gambit. And in the future, I'm gonna keep doing all sorts of crazy stuff like that. But some weeks you don't have very much time, you don't have very much money, and you don't just have the resources to really do some of those bigger recipes. So this week I'm going to show you a simple classic, a grilled cheese sandwich. Sometimes I have a grilled cheese for dinner, and it's usually more a time thing than anything else. So I figure if you're going to eat a grilled cheese for dinner, you might as well do it the right way, my way. So let's get right into it. Definitely our shortest ingredients list so far this week. I have actually two types of cheese because I'm getting fancy on y'all. Some butter, and I'm using some whole wheat bread there, all from Aldi. Now this time it's under $10 for all this stuff, and obviously you get a lot more swings out of it than the usual ingredients we use. Hardware wise, all you're going to need is this trusty battle-worn pan here and a butter knife to spread your butter, and maybe a little spatula to flip the grilled cheese. It's really a pretty simple one, folks. All right, boys and girls, now I have two breads laid out here, and I just heated this butter for about 15 seconds in the microwave just to kind of soften it up. You see if I push down on it, it's mushy. You want the butter to be nice and easily spread. We're gonna butter the toast on both sides here and get it ready to get going in the pan. Meanwhile, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and get the heat going on this burner here. We're gonna go medium heat on this because it's just bread, to be honest. So definitely be careful, and we'll get to buttering those toasts. All right, y'all, now I got this butter all opened and softened up here. We're gonna bring y'all down here to the breads here. This isn't exactly rocket science, boys and girls, but I wanted to show you just so you can kind of get a feel. Now, I butter my bread pretty aggressively. Now we're just gonna get the butter kind of spread. It wasn't as melty as I thought. This isn't exactly rocket science, and you might be thinking to yourself, hey, why do I need a video of this guy showing me how to spread butter on bread? But the crux of the point is this, I've had many grilled cheeses made by many different people, and not everybody does know how to make a grilled cheese very good. So I figure you might as well get into it, right? Like I said, grilled cheese is a very simple, basic thing, but it's delicate, and if you don't do it the right way, it's just like a bag of sand, So we're gonna get both sides of this buttered, and then get ready to load it up. All right, boys and girls. Now I've got my buttered bread here, and it is definitely a lot of butter, but I haven't put any in the skillet. This obviously will do it. So I get my first one laying down here, and immediately it starts to kind of scooch there. So we go Colby Jack, and then provolone, and hit the other bread right on top, boys and girls. Now, you gotta look out for the sizzle. You start to hear it going, and I'm just gonna actually flip this puppy right over and check on how it's doing. So the butter's melted, and basically the gist of the process here is I'm gonna sort of get this thing back and forth until both sides are a nice golden brown. Now, you can flip it over and over again. To be honest, it won't really impact your results very much because the cheese will melt. Just make sure you don't burn the bread, unless you're making it for somebody who likes burnt bread, I guess, which is a thing, but you just go for it. Check it every once in a while, and the skillet will get progressively hotter. So say you're making a few in a row, you definitely want to just always check, like, I'm gonna check both sides and keep it going. All right, now you're occasionally gonna flip it, and you definitely want to monitor the situation pretty closely, because sometimes you flip it over and it's beautiful golden brown, just like that, ladies and gentlemen. That's precision right there. Watch out. Okay, boys and girls, now we have both sides buttery golden brown. The cheese clearly melted. We're gonna bring it over to a plate right here. There's only one way to cut a grilled cheese sandwich. If you know anything about grilled cheese, you know that it gets cut right down the middle diagonally into beautiful little triangles right there. And let's check this out, cheese stretch. Oh, we got the Colby Jack, and we got the provolone, and it's so good and hot. All right, y'all, now I got this grilled cheese back here. Now, to be honest, I was planning something maybe a little bit more elaborate for today, but sometimes plans fall through, and that's the lesson here today, folks. You can always make something out of nothing. We just had bread, butter, and cheese, and check out what we did with it. It's cheesy. It's delicious. My mom would always make these for me after the flag football games. One time I jammed my finger real bad. The coach threw a football at my finger, and I was like, ow, this really sucks. And then I got home, and a nice warm grilled cheese with Colby Jack. It's a very nostalgic food, so always make sure to respect the classics. And next week we'll come back at you with something new. This has been What's Cooking with Will Graves.